It's time for Weeb Shit Monday, home to anime, manga, and spicy hot takes with your host, the Podcast Daddy.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Weeb Shit Monday. I am your host, of course, the Podcast Daddy. Today, we are joined by the beautiful, the gorgeous, the long-haired man himself, Deadman from the show VTNetwork. Bubba, how are you doing? It's always nice to have you on here.
I'm doing well. I'm glad that you had such a positive reaction to another show I gave to you.
Honestly, you're 2 for 2. 2 for 2 so far. I have yet to be disappointed by anything you have shown me. First one was Redo a Healer.
Yep.
So that one was a hard almost, but I got through it. Second one was, of course, Blood Sea that I just finished, Sunday?
Yeah.
Sunday was when I finished it?
Sunday.
I didn't know the movie that was afterwards was 2 hours and was 2 fucking hours long. Yeah. That had been a nice little warning before I went to go watch it.
I thought when you said the movie, I thought you meant the original, 48, 50-minute movie.
Oh, Blood the Vampire?
Yeah, Blood the Last Vampire.
Oh, I tried. That one was so goddamn boring.
It gets so good, though. It gets good.
When?
The last 10 minutes of it, it's just a ride.
Of course it is. Of course. It can't be, the actual first half hour when the shit's actually, needing to happen. Nah, can't be doing that. It's got to be the last fucking 10 minutes.
Plus, you have to appreciate the visuals that 15-minute movie was. It was one of the most gorgeous things to come out at that time. The physics of the car, the windows, the neon signs, Neo Tokyo, the Air Force Base. It was all absolutely gorgeous. Even the animation of Saya turning around and holding me by the face was the first 5 minutes was just devastatingly beautiful. It all had weight to it. You know what I mean? When she takes him out on the train, it's shockingly good because you have that cool shot that you'd almost never see in anime. You know what I mean? Where she's running after him and it's in his perspective, and then she catches up with him and slices him. Camera keeps going and he's stuck on the door, bleeding out. And it's such a great perspective shot, and you never see that in anime. So the camera work, especially experimenting with a CG camera, I believe it's one of the more beautiful anime movies to come out. It's only 50 minutes, granted, but I was like, damn, wow.
You got to be impressed
stuck
too.
Around.
You got to be impressed because that's a 2001 movie. That shit wasn't recent as in the 10s or the 20s. No, that was 2001.
2001, wow, and it's stuck around this long, yeah.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Well, I was amazed because I thought when you said movie, you said original. I was like, okay, I'm gonna look at about 2008, 10, give or take, around the beginning of the turn of the decade for that. No, 2001. I thought, god damn, they really did CGI this good in 2001?
Yeah. And
and this is coming from Mr. CGI hater himself. CGI in anime, I can't fucking stand it. But watching this, I thought, okay, I gotta take a lick here. I gotta take a loss. It did look good. It did look pretty.
Incredible, yeah.
But I just could not make it to the last 15 minutes. Which
I encourage you to try again.
Fine. I will try
because like Blood Sea, when it goes off the rails, it goes off the rails.
Yeah, oh God, when you said it went off the rails, see, I was expecting for Draco in chat says first, Jurassic Park has the best CGI.
I beg to differ. Forrest Gump.
What? What fucking CGI does Forrest Gump have?
A lot.
No shit, really?
A lot.
Oh, okay. That's news to me. I didn't actually know that shit.
A ridiculous amount. More than you know.
Okay. Yep, that's something I'm going to have to look up. But anyways, when you said that Blood Sea when it got crazy, I thought it was just going to be like, all right, it's just going to get a little bit more murdery or secret cultish or like world organization-y. So that's what I was expecting. Not what happened. Not how it ended. No. So we want to do like we did last time. Go through all the episodes, give general themes and everything.
We'll go through the first 3 episodes. We'll go through it in chunks because there's only 12 episodes. To Draco in the chat, the feather floating at the end of it. Would you like me to blow your mind now or later? About the CGI there, Draco.
Blow my mind now.
We'll let Draco weigh in.
Oh, God, you got about 5 hours before that motherfucker types in chat again, so we got some time to kill.
Yes, everybody's very well aware that the feather wasn't real. But anyways, yeah, let's go through the first 3 episodes of Blood Sea.
So when you first watch this, you just assume it's another anime about a high school girl that kills monsters.
Yeah, girl versus monsters. Yeah.
That's what I thought it was when I was watching it. Because in the beginning of every episode, the beginning of the first 3 episodes, she walks to school and she's singing a song. And it's not really a song like that has any distinct words. It's just how her day's going. Like, I'm walking down the park. I'm enjoying my time. It's pretty outside. If you think I'm bullshitting, look that up. That is legitimately how those lyrics will go.
And it's ridiculously cute.
It is. I can't deny it. I'd be like, oh, this is cringy, but you're kind of just like, she has a great day. Her father is so nice.
Yeah.
Because it's just the vibe. It's nothing. It almost reminds you of a slice of life anime.
For like 10 minutes, yeah. You're like, it's a slice of life.
That's why I was like, why is this called Blood Sea? Is like somebody just gonna fucking explode out of nowhere? Like we're just gonna watch her walk and then all of a sudden just explodes? So of course we continue on and she lives her normal life. She goes to school, she goes to a coffee shop. She just continues on with her day. Goes home to her dad, helps out with chores. This is where it gets fun, though. At night, she is entrusted to kill monsters. And I am confused. Are they stone or what? I was so confused about that single part.
They're not stone. They're relics of an old world. As you saw later on in the series, they are relics of an old world, and they're extraordinarily difficult to kill, and there's only one type of blade that can kill them, and it is a blade forged in their time.
Oh, okay, because I was like, all right, if the outer shell is like the sword is pinging off, like it's not bouncing off, it's pang, and nothing is happening, then why, when she slashes through the monster, blood? Like, blood everywhere. But okay, that makes sense. That does make sense then. And I will say, whenever there is a blood splatter, it's not just a simple, like a little, like, cum droplet of blood. No, it is a...
It is Akira Kurosawa levels of spray.
See, well, you think werewolf, but it's there.
Werewolf.
It deals with ancient... werewolf. It deals with ancient relics, like Deadman said. So it's a very, very monster-esque sort of show. Now, I want to talk about one major thing in the first episode, and it's a common theme throughout, but the fight scenes in this anime.
They're glorious. They are top-notch.
Oh, whatever man made those, or woman, I hope they have the best oral sex given to them in their life. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Nothing was ever missed when it came to the fight scenes. The impacts felt like impacts.
Yeah.
Going under the water when you seen her push herself away. Like, it just, all of the emotion that she would feel in the fight, you're feeling it while watching it.
Yeah, there's no missing in the beats, everything is beautifully illustrated. Her sword strikes, the monster hitting her, and the fact that she takes damage. It's not one of these like really fluffy shows where it's just like, oh, I'm being knocked around. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, which I was kind of expecting.
yeah, no, she takes damage. She's bleeding. She's busted up. Her clothes tear. Nothing etchy or hentai here. There's nothing exposed, but you know her clothing takes damage. She takes damage, and then there's of course a fever pitch in the fight where she turns the tides and cuts these things to ribbons.
Which I know, which it's pretty cool because I'm a fan of like eyes changing color mid fight to symbolize like different powers or a power up, sort of say. And seeing her eyes go from like normal to red and cat, I really liked it. That's one of my favorite things. Was sort of like, oh shit, the eyes are red.
Shit just got serious.
Oh yeah, when the eyes go red, shit's serious. So it's like that for 3 episodes. You know, it's nothing too off the wall. It's wash, rinse, repeat.
For the first
That's
3
all it is.
episodes, and they sprinkle so many breadcrumbs in the beginning of the show that when you finally reach the end and go back to the beginning, you're like, that's what that meant. That's what that meant. That's what that meant. That's what that line means. Literally, there's points where it's just a single line of dialogue, and you're just like, that makes so much more sense now.
And we're coming up to 4 through 6.
Now let's do 4 through 6. This is where shit starts to get wacky.
It gets a little weird. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So we go through the first. Thank you, Warden. I appreciate you for subscribing. So the 4 through 6 is when we start to notice kind of odd things. First off, we see the main character and all of her friends sitting at a table, and she brings out a bondo. Is that what it's called?
Bento.
I was saying ballpark. A bento, and she goes to eat it, and I can't remember exactly the context of the conversation. But one of the twins that are her friends says, "Oh, you're gonna ruin the bento scene."
Yeah. What a waste of the bento scene.
Now, for any other part, that makes no fucking sense. That's like, well, what the hell's the bento scene? Okay, sure.
Yeah, it's so out of place in the context of the story thus far.
And then you notice that every day she stops at a specific coffee shop. I don't know if it's located near her or whatever, but she stops at a specific coffee shop and gets the same thing every day. Nothing changes. It's always coffee and Lord help me with that name of that little square.
Oh, hell, I don't remember it either.
Okay, you can't. Okay, cool. I didn't want to feel like a dumbass by trying to pronounce it. So
No, it's a localized fruit in like one specific region of Japan. So even a weeb ass like me is not going to remember that one. Like,
least-
that is a little bit too weebish for me. Like even for me.
That's of somebody who has not seen a vagina. Okay, that's a different level right there.
Yeah, that's my lady.
That's can I that TikTok I sent you, can I pay for these in chakra?
No weebs allowed.
I want to get a sign behind me that says that no weebs allowed.
I think the thing is that there's weebs and then there's weeaboos. So like there is a difference, and I think Filthy Frank very much spelled that out for us.
Oh yes, if you haven't, go watch the video.
But no, that is some well, actually this particular part in Japan. Like no, dude, I know what it is. I just don't know the fucking name because I don't care.
Actually, it's not usually this color. They only did that in the anime to make it more visually appealing.
Yeah, no shit though, right? Please,
So
please,
the two things
scratch your brain with a 9mm.
God damn it! I was trying to avoid one of them references this episode,
I
but
did
son
it
of a bitch, here we
politely.
are. So as you notice, she gets the two same things: coffee and whatever the fuck that thing's called. We're not gonna try it. We're not gonna try. If you want to, be my guest. And one line, like Deadman said, they are small lines that you don't know have any significance until the end. But one line she says will stick out. And it says, your coffee always calms me. I want you to remember that line. Remember it. And then it just sort of continues on, except now we're getting these vivid dreams of a past life where things are getting cut up, and she think she's seeing visions of her mother doing this?
Yep, she thinks it's her mother.
Yeah, she thinks her mother, she's getting visions from her mother killing all these monsters, and she's following the legacy that was handed down to her. I think episode 6 is where we finish, where the one demon was like, oh, I can't remember if it was 4 or 6.
Why are you killing us? We're the same.
Yep. Why are you killing us? We are the same. Why did you break the covenant?
Yeah.
Or no, honor the covenant. Honor the covenant. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yep. I messed up. It's honor the covenant. Sorry about that. And that is another. But that's one of those scenes where it's like, what fucking covenant?
And it is
what the hell
6,
are you talking about?
It is 6 where we finally see the bird demon that is eating the construction workers in the lake.
I love the design of the bird demon.
It's a really cool design. It really is. And the way that they're attacking and fighting, and like the use of the water both against Saya and like in her favor, it really was an interesting scene. And that's when she finds out that these things can talk. Like one of the ones she killed previously, which disguised itself as a rail car to lure people in and eat them, it did say honor the covenant, but this one is literally speaking in complete sentences and conversing with her, asking her like, why are you betraying us? You're a monster like us. You're one of us. Why aren't you honoring the covenant? And Saya's like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah, of course Saya does the average main character thing of doing, I'm not like you. You're monsters. I don't converse with monsters. I kill them. Not
essentially,
in that same.
Yeah. She pulls
I'm
a blade.
paraphrasing, but
No, she pulls a blade. I ain't like you motherfuckers.
it like I said, I'm paraphrasing, but that's kind of how the whole conversation goes.
Yeah. And then we have another crumb to the mystery, and her father refuses to essentially answer any questions because she does have questions. She goes back and she's like, did you know these fucking things could talk? And he's like, yeah, well,
Sleep.
Sleep. You should take a nap.
and that's what he does. That's what he does. In the middle of the conversation that they're having, where she's asking these questions, he just goes, sleep.
Yeah,
it's either sleep or rest. And
I think it's sleep. Yeah.
It's one of those two. It's one of the forms of sleep. Illuminati, thank you for joining, Bubba. Now, we forgot a major point. We forgot the dog.
Oh, the dog, the puppy dog that she chases after continuously for the first 4 episodes, and then finally catches and reveals that they too are a demon. But they used to be human.
They used to run a shop that granted wishes. And that threw me off. I thought it was going to be like her cute little puppy sidekick that she picked off the side of the road. That's what I was expecting. No. And then it's like, I was a full-ass man who ran a shop.
I was a whole-ass dude.
I granted wishes, you motherfucker.
I love that. I was a whole-ass dude. And now I'm a dog. And I don't like this life.
I don't like this life, but unfortunately I made a promise. And until it's completed, I'm kind of fucked.
Yeah, I don't want to be here. You don't want to be here. Nobody wants to be here. This sucks. And
nobody wants to do this shit.
And I love how like when we do have these scenes, it borders so hard. Again, it brushes up so hard against slice of life, but it never goes over the edge. It stays on this side of twisted ass story.
It does, and I always like how it keeps that border right where it needs to be. Doesn't have too much like slice of life shit, but it never has too much monster killing. Well, until we get to the end part, and then it's just balls to the fucking wall. But so one of the twins goes to see Saya at the temple because she's been worried about her recently. And we get this big giant monster. And of course, as always, we get a fight scene between Saya and the monster. In his fashion, it goes hard in the
we missed a part in episode 6 where one of the twins does come to visit Saya.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's in episode 6. Okay, yeah, so we haven't moved on from there. Okay, so yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
I
pulled up the official synopsis so we can have it on.
Oh, thank God one of us did, because I knew I was missing shit.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
one of the twins comes to visit Saya at the temple, and she's like, "Hey, I've been worried about you. How you been?" And she's like, "Oh, I don't remember the twin's name because it's so yeah.
No. Yeah, Nono and Nene are the twins.
Yeah, and Saya says, "Oh, no, it's nice to see you." And she's like, "How'd you know it was me?" And then she gives some super specific detail, and she's like, "Huh, that's nice. A lot of people can't tell the difference."
Yeah.
I just noticed this little line right here. A lot of people can't tell the difference. So, of course, we have the normal scene. They have a conversation, then boom, out of nowhere, a giant fucking monster appears.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. And, fight happens. It's cool. Looks badass. We're not going to suck the dick of the fights any longer, or else that's what this whole show's going to be.
And kills the twin.
Oh, yeah.
The twin dies
nicely.
a horrific goddamn death. All we have left of her is a shoe.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was going to be, just kind of like her body cut in half. Oh, no. It was leg here, arm here, head on the ceiling.
Yeah, it was really bad.
If you ever listen to old school ICP, just imagine Guts on the Ceiling. That song, that's what happened to her.
And then, no shit though. And so the episode progresses, and she goes back to the temple trying to find more answers. And the other twin, Nene, comes to the temple saying, "Have you seen my fucking sister?" She was going to go see what you were doing, and another monster attacks the temple. And in the middle of trying to save Nene, Nene gets fucking munched on. Literally gets her head bitten off. And because of censorship issues, I literally had to find specific websites to give to Gibby to watch this. And I was like, you need to watch this uncensored.
Oh, I'm glad I did. I did.
I like how I got made fun of on VTN. They're like, "Oh yeah, uncensored. I'm the weeb." I'm like, "No, dude, you don't understand. Half the screen is blacked out on that scene, and it's like, well, what the fuck just happened?" And you find the uncensored version, you're like, "That's what the fuck just happened. Holy shit!"
Yeah, and it's not like a subtle like crunch done. No, it's a crunch, crunch, crunch. Like, you hear the bone snap, and you're like, oh, shit. Fuck. There's a lot of those scenes, because it's very, very specific on how they kill people. Like, they really want you to know the weight of what's happening.
Yeah. And it is a lot of fucking weight. But, I mean, like, going to episode 7 through 9, though.
Oh, this is kind of where it picks up a lot of steam.
This is where, and this is where I told Gibby, like, it goes off the rails. And when I said it goes off the rails and it stays off the rails, I don't think, like you said, you didn't believe me. And
no, I really didn't.
So, I mean, episode 7 is, she's going to protect the town. I believe this is the samurai one in the middle of the town, and she kind of gets ousted.
Oh yeah, it's an actual
welcome
fight.
Psycho Bish, and welcome Gossamer Style.
Yeah, welcome. Sorry, I've been trying to.
I got it. Don't worry.
Trying to keep focus. I appreciate you, Bubba. Welcome Psycho Bish. Welcome Gossamer Style. Thank you both for being here. Now, this is the first time we've actually seen Saya have competition. Like the other other people have the other people that she has fought, the other demons, not really a challenge.
No.
They haven't really put up as much of a challenge. It's kind of just been like, I got a couple good licks in, but nothing beyond more of a scratch here or there. Nothing that a normal person wouldn't heal from overnight, you know? Like a couple scrapes, bruises, all that. But this samurai that she went up against, or as I like to call him, General Grievous.
Yeah, it very is. Very much General Grievous. The discussion right now, King William, is Blood Sea. We're going 3 episodes at a time. Right now we are in episode 7, where Saya gets ousted.
And when we say ousted, it's not a simple like, oh, that's what
kinda,
you do.
Kind of figured. No, everybody's like, there's fucking monsters, and the clumsy bitch in town is the one that fights them. There's something seriously wrong.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. So what you're telling me is people are disappearing, monsters are attacking, and the girl who trips over fucking everything is the one that is killing. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
no.
we're all gonna die.
Yeah, we're fucked. We're fucked with a capital PH. King Williams, why were you disappointed with it? I thought it was.
Why were you disappointed? Please put that in the chat. We want to know.
Yes, I would love to hear. I would love to hear a different opinion on this, because right now you have 2 people that are sucking this dick so hard that we're doing it more than normal people should.
And the funny thing is that their reaction is not a typical. The original. Do you mean Blood, the Last Vampire, or do you mean one of the other iterations of Blood? Fill in the blank. So it's not the usual anime reaction of, hey, we support you because anime girl fight monster, we all love you. No, they all turn on her. They're like, you're a fucking freak. You're a freak with a sword. And why are you fighting monsters? Like, why isn't the National Guard here? Why the fuck?
Why do we have the army here to fucking do something about it? The original Blood, we were talking about Blood Vampire. We were talking about that in the in the beginning. Didn't talk about it much, but talked about it enough.
Yeah, that'll be available on the audio version. You can find it on all audio platforms when you search Podcast Daddy. So do yourself
be careful
a favor.
what you might find. There might be a special link you find. Do not let anybody know it exists.
Spread it around. But yeah, no. The old one is from 2001. It's called Blood, the Last Vampire. It is a 50-minute short film. It is a CGI experimental film, and this is a continuation of it, with a whole lot of twists and turns. Blood Sea could have been better. Once again, man, please articulate why.
Yes.
Like, we want to know.
We would love to hear.
We're not challenging you or calling you a liar. We just want to hear your opinions.
Nope.
And like I said, everybody in the town is like, why the fuck is the clumsy bitch the one fighting this shit? We're all gonna fucking die. We're all gonna fucking die. Everybody get to the school because we're all gonna fucking die. And that's where the episode ends, is with the appearance of a new monster.
Now before we go on to episode 8, I'd like to bring up a couple things about what the samurai had said while they were in mid-fight.
Please.
So a couple of things that were mentioned during that fight were very, very heavy. One of the lines brought up was, "You are not the original you. Like, this is not who I thought you were. I thought you'd put up more of a fight."
Yeah.
What? And you're kind of wondering, like, well, what do you mean? Like, this entire time we've heard Covenant. I'm just like you. You know, we're brethren. Yeah, we're brethren in the sense. So you're like, okay, well, what do you mean? What do you mean they're like not the real you? Like, it just brings up more questions. And of course, Saya thinks, oh, he's talking about my mom.
He's referencing my mother.
Yeah, that's who he's talking about. And it's like, I'm not my mom. I'm Saya. Blah 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 blah. Normal bullshit. I'm trying to remember some of the other things he said, but there was a lot in that episode during that fight, and it was like. Well,
he says that you aren't you. You're not supposed to be you. This version of you, there was a better you, one that one that fought for us while keeping justice. And that's what it was. It was justice. It was the justice of the covenant, and you've broken that. And that's why they're waging wars, because she broke the covenant between them all. And once again, it doesn't make a lot of sense within the first watch of this show.
No. I like how King William said, yeah, just based on animation style personally, but it's definitely worth the watch. It is. You know, some animation styles are not everybody's cup of tea. I will admit, I am a CGI hater. I fucking can't stand it in anime. I think it ruins shows. But then the following one is, she's still a badass, though.
Yeah.
Because she is. Because she is. Deadman, can you throw that up on the screen, please? That is something we can all agree upon. There we go. Thank you very much, Bubba.
So now we move on to episode 8, and this is where it gets real. Like, real. Like, fuck me. Like, please put the children to bed and don't let anybody with a weak stomach come in the room real. The monster that we saw at the end of episode 7 starts attacking the school. This spindly-legged spider thing with a big mouth, and it goes ham.
I was not expecting this scene. I was not expecting this whole episode.
They think they're safe on like the 3rd floor or something. They're not fucking safe. These people get speared. They get eaten. They get fucking... It is...
Stomped right in the face with a spindle.
Yeah, it is bloody. It is gory. It is much. And the whole fucking time, Saya is like...
Freaking the fuck out.
Just run. For fuck's sake, run. Please run. like, please run. God damn it, run.
And nobody listens. Nobody fucking listens to her.
Nobody fucking runs. And nobody runs. They're all like, you're still a freak. We don't like you. We're not going to do what you say, kind of shit. And she's like, you just saw this cocksucker get his fucking head stomped in. Run, you dumb bitch.
Yeah, it's like you just seen like 5 of our classmates get a spear through the dome. Some of them are still all over the walls, okay? Why are you still standing here? Fucking go!
Run.
Door, right there.
Run, for the love of fuck. And nobody does. And
No.
And it just keeps fucking going this entire episode. And that's essentially what fills up this episode, is this fight between Saya and her trying to save the school while fighting this thing. And eventually the thing itself pulls Saya out of the school to a fight out in the courtyard, and
No,
that's
it's on the rooftop.
On the rooftop. You're right, and that's where we finish episode 8, going to episode 9, where it just keeps fucking going. It doesn't goddamn stop, and it just love this. By the way, thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're going to be famous thanks to PodcastDaddy, at least your voice. I mean, that's cool.
I was about to say, I have an intro that I used a voice line that she did for me, but it's going to be on the audio version until I figure out StreamYard.
Oh, very good. Very cool.
But yeah, it happens on the roof, and it never stops. The fight, the blood, the gore never stops.
It doesn't.
At all.
Stop for
and
these 2 episodes.
Yeah, and you're just like, okay, maybe, we'll get like a breather. Nope. Can I just breathe for some? Nope.
Nope. Just keeps going.
I need a cigarette. Too bad.
Nope.
But I gotta pee.
To piss your pants.
But
no stopping.
But the final scene where she kills this monster,
gratifying.
coup de grace, because it is not a normal kill like we've seen. It's not a simple like chop, 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 done, donezo, call it quits, go home, drink my coffee, help my dad with chores. Boom, that's it. No, she, from the top rope, ladies and gentlemen, brings her sword down into the monster's skull.
Oh yeah.
And they drop a good 4 stories down.
Oh yeah, yeah, and it just keeps going.
Just has the fucking like the full on effect of hand on the hilt, like both hands on the hilt driving down, and then when they hit the floor, she just makes sure that motherfucker's dead, like cuts it all up and everything.
It is one of the more satisfying deaths in this anime, and or one of the more satisfying monster kills, I should say. For me, it's between that one and the samurai guy. like between them and Lord Grievous, because Lord Grievous had it coming too.
Lord Grievous did have it coming, but I can't mention my most satisfying kill until
Just yet.
I can't mention it until the end. So I'll save mine for when we get there.
So and
On to
this
episode
is where
8.
no, we're on episode 9 already.
Oh shit, we're on 9.
Yeah, and so yeah, and that's where we start to discover that there might be a plan or something behind all these monster attacks. And Saya
that's
starts
when it
to
gets
uncover things, yeah, and so questions start getting answered at the end of this episode, and that's where we get into episode 10.
Oh, this is where I think I was texting Deadman repeatedly.
Yep.
Like it was message after message after message. Like, what the fuck? Why is it? Okay, so let's get through episode 10. I will tell you exactly what I texted you when I seen that. Also, Deadman, this is a statement for you because I don't know studios. Could you imagine Blood Sea, but with the animation style of Fate Unlimited Blade Works?
I can. The problem with it is that Blade Works and Fate Unlimited, like that kind of style, doesn't work well with gore. Like it works really well with really cool camera angles and really cool movement and stuff like that. But there's so much like conflict in those battles that it looks really pretty, but but it's very like, haha, you've defeated my final form. Prepare for my other final form. And like this is my ultimate action, and it's just repeating. When these fights happen, there's so much movement and cutting and gore and damage to the character that it really wouldn't work to convey the emotion and the risk that Saya is actually facing. I mean, don't get me wrong, on like a surface level, absolutely, it would be beautiful, but past the surface, it would kind of fall apart. My ultimate action is falling asleep anywhere I close my eyes long enough. Same.
Shit.
I work at night. Same.
Fucking same. Fucking same. If I could fall asleep standing up, I think I could. So episode 10, we're coming to the climax of this I don't even want to say season. Yeah, series.
Yeah, series.
Kind of pisses me off. I have to say series and not season. Like we don't get more of this.
I mean, once again, this is like redo of Healer. A lot of people want to support this, but it's like, do I want to support gore porn essentially? And
no, it could be worse. It could be worse. We could have almost season 2. Okay, you can't tell me that this is worse than almost.
Not at all. No.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
Either way, back to this story. Saya finally confronts her father, and her dad is like trying to run through answers. Her dad is like, well, yeah, I mean, yeah, it kind of was your mother. In a way, the fact that she kind of birthed you in a way that, mentally speaking, she was locked away, then you were born mentally, and then you carry on, and then he gets cut down by another character.
Yeah, shit. There's never a full answer with this series.
No.
It's never, because you're like, oh, he's about to
die. God.
Sure.
Fuck.
Yeah, fucking sure. Cool. Almost. So this is edging the anime, if you want to know what that is. It's edging the anime.
Yeah. It's you almost get there, but not quite.
Never. Fucking never until like, okay, let's
But
I'm building
once again, another satisfying death, because Saya's like, he wasn't technically my dad, but he technically did raise me, so he's my dad. I'm gonna kill the living fuck out of you for killing my dad. And the guy's like, you can't kill. Well, I'll be damned.
Oh yeah, because it was one of those like, you can't kill me, I'm bitch. Like if I could ad lib,
stand mistaken.
if I could ad lib a single word into that scene, it would be in mid monologue. He gets cut. You just hear the word, bitch.
Bitch. And
yeah, obviously, he gets cut down, so it's a very emotional scene for about 10 seconds.
10 seconds. And we move on because it's what's just what it is. And like this fucking anime doesn't stop. This anime does not stop. It doesn't give you a moment's peace. And literally we run directly into episode 11 where she drinks some of the blood of one of the monsters and suddenly gets all her memories back. The idea that she is an original vampire. She is Saya from the original movie. She has been killing monsters for all her fucking life because she has a vendetta against them. And the town itself was set up as an experiment. All her friends are actors. Nobody really died. The people running her fucking life are all doing it as part of an experiment. And it all just keeps going.
Her brain fucking stops.
Yeah.
Like, for the entire episode, we get monologue between, okay, look, if you're watching this anime, like, I know we do the spoiler warning. Like, we give you spoilers and shit, but this motherfucking thing's been out for 12 years. Okay, so if you haven't watched it, stop right here, go watch it, then come back and listen to it. So we find out that the twins, her secret crush, her fucking teacher, the class president, all were actors. We're all into it. And she asks, she's like, well, how come you didn't die? I seen you get eaten. I seen your guts on the ceiling. And one of the twins is like, oh, yeah. Ding. I got a bell. I got a bell. Like, I can't die because of this thing. So then, of course, Saya is bombarded with all this information. Like, everything, finding out her life's a lie, her dad's a lie, everything is fake. Her brain just shuts down. She's in the fetal-ish position. Yeah, fetal-ish position, trying to just comprehend everything while all of these people are talking about, well, why are you into this? Let's get done with this. I didn't think it'd last this fucking long. And Deadman, you're going to have to explain this part because it gets real complicated, and I don't do real complicated. Real complicated, like, plot lines, so you're going to have to explain the whole scientist thing.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
No.
So the scientist that was running this whole fucking thing. Okay, well, I didn't know that was a prompt. So the scientist running this whole fucking thing was actually trying to see if they could create more like Saya, to harvest her blood, and that's what the monsters are. They're called Elder Barns at this point, and these things are failed experiments from a long time ago to replicate the power that the original vampires had. So they're mutations in one form or another. Now, the classmates and all these other fuckers had little charms on their necks the entire series, and when you watch the series, they have little charms that were supposed to protect them from the monsters, these failed experiments. The only problem is that was a lie, and the scientists just said spare them for now. And once they kind of all ruin the experiment, the scientist goes rogue and says, well, I kind of don't fucking need you anymore. And having you around is a liability. So...
I seen that coming. I was like, oh, I know what's coming. Somebody's dying. Blap, blap, blap. Grab. Oh, my... And how does he do a twist? Does he shoot them? Does he stab them? Does he slice them in half? No. He summons a gigantic fucking lion with arms on its back. And let me tell you, I was so happy that they utilized the arms instead of just making him a lion with like arms as a
prop,
kind of like as an accessory, like really didn't use them. Oh no, the lion used the arms on its back, grabbing one of the twins and just whop, whop, like just smacking her square into the ground. And then the other twin, while she's running, grabs it and just eats her like a piece of shrimp you just pop into your mouth. Just bloop.
And the whole time they are audibly and visually begging for their lives because they finally realized that the whole thing keeping them safe was just the whim of one guy. And now that one guy doesn't need them anymore, they start offering like sexual favors. They start offering money. It gets kind of dark at this point in time. But Saya, once again, is not part of this group because she is one of the originals. And the scientist is like, well, great, now we can wipe your brain and start over again. And Saya's like, yeah, about that. Fuck
Get
yourself.
Get fucked. Get all
And
the way fucked.
and she really literally has to come to terms with the idea that she is one of the originals. And she's like, well, I am one of the birthplaces of these things.
And I
You know what I mean?
gotta take accountability for it. Like, she's like, it's because of me that this has happened.
And this scientist guy is like, you really don't. We can keep doing this. I can offer you peace again. I can put it all back the way it was. I can give you your father back. I can give you your life back. Fuck, you want a mother? I can that nurse lady you liked at the school, she can be your mom, whatever. And Saya's like, or I could kill the living shit out of you.
And she tries.
And she tries.
But of course, it again, edging the anime is what this is. So as Saya is going to kill the scientist, which, another spoiler alert, it's the fucking coffee guy this entire time who's running the experiment. The coffee and the little, not going to try and pronounce it because fuck you. That entire time, he was using the coffee and these snacks as a way to brainwash her and keep her calm.
Yep.
So of course, the guy's like, all right, well, you're not going to hit me because, bitch, try. So I'm going to give you a formidable opponent, your father. Now, this is where we talk about my most satisfying kill.
There we go.
So, of course, her dad comes back from the dead, and they duke it out. And when I tell you they flexed their animation muscles so hard with this, they flexed. Like, hard on. Arnold Schwarzenegger back in his golden age flexed.
Pumping iron. They go like almost like, I would say that it is bordering like UFO table like animation with this.
It's pretty close, if not on the same level, but pretty close.
And of course, even though her father is like a reanimated corpse and is still part of one of these barons, she's still an original. He can't touch her in the end. And she has to kill her father again. And
which she does. She slices him right down the middle. And just, of course, in Blood Sea fashion, just like a goddamn sieve. And the professor and the scientist is like, okay, all right, I'll give you that one. I'll hand you this dub. You can take it. You earned it. But there's a second form to this. Okay, this is Dark Souls. You get a second form of a hard boss, okay?
Is that a second health bar?
Oh, God, is that a second health bar? Oh, God, it's different colors.
Why does it have mana?
And he's like, well, obviously you couldn't beat her in your human form, so how about your demon form? And we get a demon form, and I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to put an animation times Gibby talks about animation counter here. Oh, that fight scene. You could feel the weight of every blow that was dealt. You could feel the weight of the movements that were happening. Anytime Saya got cut, it was cut, blood. And you legitimately thought she was going to die this entire fight.
Yeah, there's no upside on this.
Yeah, there was no like, oh, she's going to pull it through. It's like, oh,
she might actually fucking die.
Oh, she might die. Oh, no. But, of course, anime fashion, main character wins. Main character wins, slices them up. And we have a very emotional scene, which we didn't get very much in this. Didn't get a lot of, like, very
closure.
Heartfelt.
We didn't get fucking closure.
Yeah, we didn't get a lot of, like, heartfelt scenes. Which, I mean, explains it because a lot of her classmates were actors, so, like... Yeah, once you find that out, you're like, okay, that explains no emotional scenes. But when Saya's talking to her father, she's crying, and he's like, even though this was fake and it was all a ploy, I still enjoyed my time. I still enjoyed
Consider
spending
you a
time with.
daughter. Yeah.
Yes, and that point, I was like, oh wow, that kind of hurt a little bit. Like not a lot, but just enough, man. Like fuck. And that's not the end, folks. You would think
Nope.
that's the end. Oh no. So the scientist is like, okay, experiment's over. Well, time to go home, folks.
Yep.
And
Pull the plug.
and he summons one gigantic rabbit monster.
Oh, that fucking
course-
thing, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, this is where you want to talk about it gets real bloody and gory. Oh, this one I had to stop like midway through. I was like, oh, fuck me. So the scientist summons this big bunny-like monster, and Saya just cuts right through it. You know, she's like, this fucking thing? Shit.
Easy work. You feel,
I
I just fought the devil.
I beat General Grievous and the devil. Dust off my shoulder. But then the camera cuts back to the bunny, and it multiplies.
Yep.
So now there's 2, and then there's 20, and then there's 200. And the job of this bunny was to wipe out the entire city.
Yeah.
And it's not a simple like, oh, you know, well, they're gone. You get a couple scenes of the, you know, people getting ate by giant bunnies. No.
No.
You see humans mashed into a giant meatball.
Yeah.
You think but a giant ball of human corpses. You see these bunnies reach into buildings and just pop them like shrimp. Like I said before, just eating them. And the one scene that made me go, oh, was when they put all of the, fuck you, grave robber. They put all of the bodies inside of one of the bunny's arms. Then another bunny turned his hand into a giant blender and just stuck it in the bag full of bodies.
Oh, yeah,
And made a human Slurpee.
Made a dude smoothie.
Oh yeah. Oh. Ugh. That has two connotations to it. But after that, I was like, okay, what more can you give me?
Well, how much farther can we go?
Yeah. It's like, how much farther can we go? And of course, one of her classmates and the scientists get away in a helicopter.
Yep.
And Saya's like, I'm not going to let you escape. This ends here. So, you know, jump, soar. And you're like, yes, we get to see conclusion. She's going to blow that chopper up. We're going to have a happy pop. Scientist shoots her square in the fucking face. Half her face missing. And she falls into the ocean.
It's choking
And
on
the
the
last-
folks.
Oh, yeah. God, I'm choking by how fucked up this is. Whew. This is when you finally, like, finish the edging, and you're like, oh, this is great. She washes up on the beach, and she's sitting in her uniform. She starts tearing it off, saying, I'm going to get my revenge. I'm coming after you. And takes part of her clothing, covers up the blown off part of her face. That's the last thing we see of Saya. The last thing we see of this series is the tiny dog man. The whole ass man still is a dog.
Yep.
He said, I granted a wish that I would not be able to finish until it is fully fulfilled. You wished for me. How do you phrase it? You wish for me to let you keep your true self. Now it's time to go finish it. Credits!
Yeah. Credits.
Final episode. Credits. Fucking credits. And then we get a movie. I haven't watched the Blood Sea, whatever the fuck it's called. I haven't watched that yet. That was my goal, but shit happens. Life goes on.
Well, we're here to talk about the series, not the movie.
I know, but I wanted to throw it in there as kind of like a nice little tiddly dink. Nice little
We can
tiddly
come
dink for
back to
everybody.
it. We can come back
Oh,
to
yeah.
it.
Oh, of course.
This is like
Oh, of
part one.
course. Yeah, fucking part one. I don't need more parts of this. I had enough emotional trauma just with part
Blood for the blood god.
blood. Like I put in the title, Blood Sea for the Blood Gods. So that was Blood Sea. Deadman, give us your pros and cons of this series.
The pros of this series is honestly keeps you guessing the entire fucking time. Everything about this is so cleverly written that it demands a second watch. There are lines. There are hidden breadcrumbs everywhere. There's just, it is so dense with stuff that you don't realize what's happening until way later in the anime. So it demands a second watch. The
Oh, yeah.
pros also is the fight scenes are top notch for such a weird niche anime. And I can't call it horror. I can call it gore. I can call it goru. What's up, Mustard?
What's up, Mustard?
I can't call it, horror because I can't. It's guru. You know what I mean? It's like Gantz type shit.
I think Gantz had a little bit more oomph behind the deaths.
And the last pro of this is that it does carry weight with ties to mythology and like the last true vampires, and that was really cool as well, honoring having a subway. Cool. I've never seen this anime. It's really cool, really gory. And it is one of the it does pay homage to the original by keeping its ties to it. Now the cons of it are that this is this is horrifically bloody and violent. So not a lot of people are going to want to watch this, and that's kind of the con because
that's a con.
It is a con because when
your bloodline is weak, Deadman.
Not mine.
It's weak.
Not mine, but we can count on one hand the amount of people that are into goru or horrifically violent animes. That's why Gantz is such a niche thing. That's why Blood and Blood Sea are such niche things, is because while they're extremely popular, let's not forget that Gantz and other such things like it also have anime titties. This one has a lack of anime titties, and
like none.
Also none. It has no anime titties whatsoever.
Oh wait, no, I take that back. There's one scene where she's taking a bath. It's not too explicit, but it's one of those like bath scenes where she's trying to relax after like all the shit that she found out.
You don't even see anything.
Nothing. Nope. It's just like this is her time to relax. That's it.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like fan service.
Yeah. Of course.
So
what would anime be without fan service?
Yeah. So the one of the cons is that it is horrifically violent. Another con is that it is not readily available. You do have to seek out the uncensored version, because the censored version, you will get literally like this much of a shot sometimes, and
that just ruins the experience. It really does.
And it does. And another con is that because it demands a second watch, if you're not into it the first time, you're sure as fuck not going to be into it the second time. And the last con is that we do not get a definitive closer on this anime. They made this with a second season in mind, and instead of having a second season, they got a movie. So that's my pros and cons.
I'm never a fan of that, where they decide like, oh, we're going to do a second season.
No, you're not.
Not a lot of people want it, so we'll give... How about a movie? Will a movie suffice?
All right.
It's the best you get. Shut up.
Yeah, that's what you get.
All right, my pros and cons of this. Pros, obviously the animation of it. The fight scenes, top notch. You couldn't miss a beat with any of them. You feel the weight. You feel every impact that happens. You feel the physics. Wounds actually feel like wounds. They just don't feel like, oh, they got hurt. No, it was, ooh, fuck. Like, goddamn.
The leg one.
Oh, the leg one. Oh, the thigh one always kills me. Oh, I'm a horror, if you want to call me that. The blood. I like the over the top cut. Blood goes everywhere. Not just a simple like dribble, but just sprays everywhere. So that pro for me. And I would have to say, last pro. This one is going to lead into the con. The pro/con is the story. Pro side of it, I loved the story. I loved the thinking she's doing the same thing her mother did, that it got passed down. Like it's this big it's this big generational fight that they've been doing for years. They've been doing for centuries, that this has just been passed down from mother to daughter for centuries. Con. it's kind of a slow burn. It's kind of a slow burn with a lot of repetition in the first, like we said, 1 to 5 episodes. The first 5 episodes are very repetitious. It's she sings a song, goes to a coffee shop, lives her normal life, goes home, kills monster. And that could be a killer for a lot of people. That repetition in the first 5 episodes would be the killer for a lot, with little to no added context. Another con, honestly, I think the only con I have is the story, because everything else about it I just absolutely loved. So I think that's the only con, is how much of a slow burn it was.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment.
So if I could, I'd give it 4.5 vials of blood out of 5.
I give it 5 blood sprays out of 5.
5 blood sprays out of 5. All right, and I think we covered all the ground that we could.
I think so, yeah.
All right,
Until we come
Deadman.
back to the movie.
Oh yeah, we could come back to the movie. I'm going to watch that just because I want to see if there's more to this. I just want, like I said when I texted you, I want to see that asshole die. You could give me just like 10 minutes of her fighting things and then the scientist dying. That's it. That's all I need.
Go to that. Walking away.
Yep, don't care. That's all I needed. That's all I give a fuck about. That's all I needed. So, with that being said, Deadman, where can they find you?
Once again, VTNetwork. Just search us up on YouTube, on Patreon, on Twitch, on Facebook, Instagram, everywhere. VTNetwork. You look for the retro logo, you'll find us. And sign up for our Patreon. Support us. It supports Gibby. And you get stickers at the $5 tier.
They're worth it. They are wonderful stickers.
I
could slap them on
personally.
everything. Could smack them on your girlfriend's ass. Anime sticker. Pop. Put them on your cat. Pop. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, I am your friendly neighborhood degenerate, the Podcast Daddy. If you want to see my slow decline into madness throughout the entire day, go to twitter.com/enoughsnuff. If you want to see this beautiful face, go to instagram.com/podcastdaddy. If you want to listen to this in audio form, go to any major podcasting platform you listen to. Look up the Podcast Daddy Variety Show, and you will find Weeb Shit Monday. It is categorized. I do it for you people. Just for you. Just for you. And if you want to watch me and Deadman look at each other sensually in the camera, that's how we do it. Go to youtube.com/podcastdaddy. And also, I'm going to start doing these live every Monday. Weeb Shit Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and every Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So Monday you get Weeb Shit Monday. Thursday you get the Podcast Daddy Variety Show with me and Breeding Pool. And on Sundays you can catch me on VTNetwork.
Very true.
Very true. And I think that's all I have to shill. Yeah. Oh, one last thing. I forgot. One thing Deadman I forgot to mention, I have my own little segment on Patreon, which is called Gibby's Moment of Zen, where I try to find my moment of peace. Will it ever happen? Probably not. But we can hope. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you the proper send-off. If you were here for 1 minute, 10 minutes, an hour, or the entire thing, I thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. Have a lovely evening. And as always, for the love of God, because I know you watch anime, you fucking weebs, keep your balls clean.